Come seeker, come traveler, come all humankind, online or in person, whomever you love.
Come and be welcome at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Cheyenne. Here, we are building a community of refuge where all have equal worth and are invited into spiritual exploration as a foundation for hope, compassionate service, and action.
This is a place where questions are encouraged, a place with room for all of who you are.
This is a place full of works in progress, a place for being human together.
Welcome, it is good to be here.
Settle in and exhale. This is a time for community. Oh, and I think Heather, as one of our newest Committee on Shared Ministry members, is going to be stepping up into our invitation to community. You have a fabulous script right here.
Okay. Okay. Hi, my name is Heather, and I am designated baby holder during service, and the most
For
important
today,
job.
yes.
And as a member of the oh, there. Now can you hear me? Okay, perfect. First time. I'm a new guy. So I'm Heather, and I'm a member of the Committee on Shared Ministry, and I'm here to welcome you to this church where we are on a shared journey to find meaning, connection, and community together. If you're new to us, please fill out a welcome card and drop it in the offering basket so we can share information with you about activities and to help you find what nourishes your spirit here. There are note cards in the pew for writing your joys and sorrows for pastoral care. We do pass a square basket during the offering to gather these. Write your name or remain anonymous. You can write "do not share" on the card if it's something that you want held in care by our minister and pastoral care team, but not spoken aloud. So there's many activities going on each week. The second and fourth Sundays, we have faith development class for 5 to 12-year-olds. It does meet downstairs at 11 following the worship service. Today is our potluck the 1st of July, or the only of July, but it's our potluck. So if you guys did not bring anything, we have tons of good cooks. We just want you to come to and just enjoy food and just hang out and just, talk and just be part of, the experience. I'm trying. So we also have Mindful Monday meditation. If you join us on the first Monday of the month for mindfulness practice in the Plum Village tradition of, I don't know how to say that, of a really good meditative practice. You don't need any experience. It's Monday, July 7th at 6 p.m. Upstairs. We also have our garage sale. We have our garage sale next week. We are still taking stuff in and putting it up on the stage. The setup is this Friday from noon to 7. We can always use, any muscles or anybody to help. So we also do need help with the sale itself on the 8 to 2. We need to borrow any clothing racks, hangers, and if you guys have any questions about this, or if you want to set up volunteering for that, we just see Susan. And we also have some flyers to hang around town as well. So the name badges, the laser engraved name badges that we've done, anybody who has done those or I've done them for, we raised so far $120 that we're going to donate straight to the church. So that's going to go in today. So yeah. So it is based on donation, whatever you feel or can or want to do at that time. But what I do is I just do the name badges, and then, you get it, I do them about once every couple of weeks. So, but you can see me for that. There is a Community dinner party in July. We come together to serve our friends every month. And then you would just contact Julianne or Lori McGill. And the next one is July 19th. And you have something to talk about. I'm like, I don't know what's happening here.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Julianne, and I am on the Share the Plate Committee. And the month of July, we are working with Pride Cheyenne. Unfortunately, neither one of the gentlemen could be here today, but I am in hopes that they'll be able to be here next week. We'll find out. They'll let me know. But they wanted to thank everybody here very much for including them into our program, and they thank us for your continued support of Pride Cheyenne. Your community here at the UUCC has been a source of strength and encouragement for us, and we're deeply appreciated. Pride Cheyenne began as a quiet conversation between two friends in 2022, friends who recognized the need for visibility, connection, and celebration for LGBTQ right here in Laramie County. What started as that simple idea has now grown into a community-wide movement. Since becoming an official nonprofit in 2023, our work is centered on building spaces where LGBTQ individual families and allies can feel safe, seen, and supported. Our cornerstone event is a Pride Cheyenne Street Fest, which just completed its third year, reaching more than 1,800 individuals, its largest LGBTQ gathering in our community, and it's designed with families in mind. As we work and offer more than that, from hikes and theater outings to karaoke nights and community outreach, we work to offer a safe, welcoming space for our community with the public support of faith communities like this. We're showing the broader region that it looks like to celebrate love, inclusion, and belonging. As an all-volunteer organization, every dollar we receive goes directly back into creating these events and resources for the community. We don't operate with overhead or staff, just a heart. So your generosity is truly helping the people that need it most. And if you ever have questions or ideas, we're always eager to connect. And thank you again for being part of this work and for your extraordinary support this month and throughout the year. You remind us all what true allyship looks like. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And as we gather and move into our offertory time, if you would like to give online, you can do that through the Realm app or by using the text to give number or the QR code in your order of service. Your share the plate offerings and pledges may also be dropped in the baskets as they pass. Thank you so much. And so our morning's offering is gratefully received for the work of this church within and beyond our walls. Let beauty in. Let beauty in like waves lapping on the shore, covering the beach and soaking the sand like an embrace. Let beauty in. Let beauty in like the first sunshine after a cloudy day, filling hearts and homes with a radiance that brings delight. Let beauty in. Let beauty in like a wrapped gift from the Spirit of life herself, as she offers to us, behold, what creation can do. Behold, this is love made real, that you can touch and taste and smell all around you. May all that is pleasing and exquisite be nurtured here in our time of worship. May the magnificent pull toward all that is divinely pleasing hold us close. May the sacred pulse within this space as we welcome in beauty. So may we worship together. And for our opening hymn, I invite you to open your gray hymnals, to rise in body or in spirit. If you'd like to help in the leadership of our hymn singing, come on up as we sing number 361, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. There's some rejoicing.
Oh, it's because we are trying to stay cool, but we can't actually have these front ones on. Do you mind popping those up? Thank you so much. Sometimes our services of joy are also services of a slight silliness. Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
We are going
speaking
to,
of a slight silliness, we're going to light our chalice and then turn in our hymnal to our to our chalice lighting words.
And here we are.
let religion be to us life and joy. Let it be a voice of renewing challenge to the best that we have, and let it be called generous action. Let religion be to us dissatisfaction with things that are, which bind us and serve more eagerly, and help, which bind us to serve more eagerly the true and the right. Let it be sorrow that opens for us a way of sympathy and understanding, and service to the suffering humanity. Let religion be to us the wondering lure of that which only partly is known and understood. An eye that glances in nature's majesty and beauty, a heart that rejoices in the deeds of kindness and of courage. Let religion be to us security and serenity because of its truth and beauty, because of the enduring words and power of the loyalties which it engenders. Let it be to us to hope and purpose and discovering of opportunities to express our best through our daily task. Let religion be to us with all that is admirable in the human being, everything where, holding before our eyes the prospect of a better life for humankind, which each may help us make actual. If the young and the young at heart would want to join us at the chancel at this time, we are inviting you to share in the leadership of the speaking of our covenant in unison before our time for all ages.
Yay, Addie. I'm always glad when you come on up. And so, I think my young is possibly asleep. So you are the young and young at heart today. All right, yeah. And so we begin with love is the spirit of this church, and service its cause. This is our covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek truth, and to help others. And so, let's have a seat. We have today a story that some of you might know. It's about a man named Noah. Yeah, so Noah was an older man. He loved to dance and to sing. He loved to make things with his hands. He especially loved, in this version, to make mud pies. Noah loved to do these things because he felt closest to the Creator when he himself was being creative. So, how many folks out here have done creative things that felt? And how many people who do creative things, for you, it feels like prayer or meditation, it feels like you're getting close to something that's a spark of the divine? That's true for some people. It was true for Noah. But the people in Noah's village thought he was foolish. They thought he was wasting his time. Why do you sing and dance and make mud pies? They would ask him. And Noah's response was simple: because it brings me joy. And one day the people saw Noah doing something even stranger than usual. He was building an ark. An ark is a kind of boat, very large. They asked, Noah, why are you building an ark? Why are you wasting your time on a boat when there's no water for miles around? And Noah's response was simple. What do we think it was? Because it brings me joy. Another day, the people saw Noah out near the forest. He was finding and collecting 2 of every kind of animal and bringing them back to his boat and putting them on the ark. They really thought Noah had lost his marbles this time, so they asked, Noah, why are you wasting your time collecting 2 of every kind of animal? And Noah said, because it brings me joy. And then one day, it started to rain. And Noah gathered his family together. They all got on board the ark. It rained so hard for so long that the whole earth was covered with water. Everywhere, as far as the eye could see, as deep as the ocean, as high as the tops of the mountains, were all covered. And as Noah looked out the window of his ark, one of his children came and stood beside him and asked, Dad, Did you know that this flood was coming? Noah was quiet for a moment. And then he said, not exactly, but I have this theory about life. Sometimes life can get pretty tough. Sometimes it can be hard to make it through the day. But if you do something creative, then you will know joy. Rain may fall, flood waters may rise, but the things that give you joy will make sure that you are prepared and will keep you afloat. And so it was, and so it is, and so it ever shall be. So I wonder, I think the chances that we will have a historic flood that covers all of Wyoming are maybe kind of low. So maybe we don't need to build a physical boat. But I wonder, do we have any thoughts about what kinds of creative things we might already be doing or might want to do that would help keep us afloat when times are hard, when the metaphorical rains fall? I heard painting, hearing and appreciating thunderstorms, gardening, music, playing music, listening. Sorry?
I was thinking we could be covered by a flood of nonsense and community.
And yeah, building community can be real creative work. Writing, absolutely. Yeah, and drawing. Yeah, so many creative things. And a lot of our folks have jobs that include some creative work, working with people, helping connect them to services, or working maybe with graphic design to let people know when there's help available. Those things are also creative community building. Education. How many people have worked in education or have taken care of children and taught them something? That always, at least for me, includes some creative work. Yeah. Yeah. So keep on wondering, keep on looking for what those creative things are. See if you can find the ones that bring you joy, the ones that keep you afloat. And that is our story. Thank you so much for helping me with the wondering questions.
Got a prayer first. Okay. So we turn to that time. We turn to that time now where we invite one another into a contemplative space to join together in a spirit of prayer. We take a breath. Notice one another in this room. As we say, creative spirit, spirit of life and love. As we gather once more together, may we be a support for one another in hard times and celebrate our joyful moments as we dwell together in the wonder and the mystery of this magnificent and ever-changing life. Today, may we offer our prayers and thoughts to Andy B. toward their healing. Andy says, while I'm on my journey of continuing to heal from my knee injury and improve my physical and mental health, may I have your prayers in this spirit. Carol Jean is still looking for a new office to accommodate clients with disabilities and asks that the church community send positive thoughts toward this. In the wider world, our prayers reach out toward our communities of immigrants in the state of Wyoming who continue to organize. We are sending food support and coloring books and activities for children, while immigrant families do know your rights trainings in different places around our state. And we offer our prayers that families find safety in this work, that education be shared, that communities understand better how to help one another, that children be protected. And today, we acknowledge the growing times of the year as we hear birds outside, feel the warmth of the sun. May we give thanks for the growing times, for the warm and the good, for this ever-changing earth. And let us hold room in our hearts for all the joys not yet shared, all the sorrows too tender to speak aloud. May we find in this space peace and comfort and community which enfolds us. Amen, and blessed be.
Psalm 30. I will exalt you, Lord, for you have lifted me out of the depths and did not let my enemies gloat over me. Lord my God, I called to you for help, and you healed me. You, Lord, brought me up from the realm of the dead and spared me from going down to the pit. Sing praises of the Lord, you faithful people. Praise his holy name, for his anger lasts only a moment, but his favor lasts for a lifetime. Weeping may stay the night, but rejoicing comes in the morning. When I felt secure, I said, I will never be shaken. And Lord, when you favored me, you made my royal mountain stand firm. But when you hid your face, I felt dismayed. To you, Lord, I called. To you, Lord, I cried for mercy. What is gained if I am silenced and if I go to the pit? Will the dust praise you? Will it proclaim your faithfulness? Hear, Lord, be merciful to me. Lord, be my help. You turn my wailing into dancing. You remove my sackcloth and clothe me with joy, that my heart may sing your praises and not be silent. My Lord, I will praise you forever. Possibility of Joy by Dana Lee Simon. The theme of joy has been reverberating as a holy echo in my life over these past month. Joy feels like one of the most compassionate offerings I can hand over to the depth of my soul, which in many moments these days is throbbing with anger and overwhelmed beyond what I can explain. The most obvious explanation is simply that I am paying attention. I also may be puberty's bookend menopause. My clearest observation about joy bouncing around inside of me is that she's never by herself. Her unlikely companions surprise me. Sorrow and suffering, fear and fraudulence, pain and preservation. How joy has the audacity to saddle up to these unlikely characters is beyond me. I am in awe that she appears like grace beyond my own doings. It is a wonder when she arises like a gift beyond my own deservings. And I am becoming more aware of my own agency in inviting joy's emergence. As I attune my attention to the reality of the world and my own life, it helps me figure out my intention. The intention has more to do with how than with what. How am I going to show up in this life? How do I want to live my values in the process of my own transformation? How do I hold all of life's complexities while trying to show up as my whole self? As I deepen my intentions, my agency, my power rises up, showing me the possibility, and one of these possibilities is always joy. I can choose her or not. She is not a bypass of everything in this world that is hard to hold and feel. She is a tool that helps me grapple with their reality. She is like finding something you thought you had lost forever, like rain on a parched and cracked ground. She is like a person at a party who approaches you when you're feeling lonely. I choose her, I can and I do.
Today, we chose a story from the Bible and also a psalm as part of our readings and our tellings. So this is a moment where it seems like it would be a great idea for us to remember what exactly the Bible is, because it's not actually a book. Some of you, many of you perhaps, have flipped through a Bible and noticed how thin that paper is. If you put a Bible on regular paperback, it would expand to the point where it would be multiple books, because that's what it was originally. The Bible was a collection, like a shelf of a minister's library. It contains a few pieces of interesting church history, a text about religion and the law, maybe two, a couple books of really good poetry. There's a storybook near the beginning full of fables about how the world was created, how humans and animals came to be. Why is there a lake of glass to the south of us? What happened that built the canyons and sent so much water through that it carved deep fissures in the rocks? Parts of that storybook include the story of Noah, written down after being told through thousands of years of oral history of the Israelite people. Then there's the obligatory hymnal on every minister's bookshelf, maybe even two or three. But that one in the Bible is called Psalms. We lose something in translation because Psalms, in their original text, they rhyme. They swing, they're singable. Some of them start with succeeding letters of the Hebrew alphabet in each line. They're what's called an acrostic. Some of them form poetic words down the side as you read through. But Psalms has music for the good times, songs of gratitude, music for sadness and lamentation. There are songs for feasts and for military victories, for the moments when the mountains tremble, the floodwaters rise, for when our lives feel off balance. Psalm 30, we read today, has a chorus that tells us weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. It's not so different from some of our present-day songs, telling us of perseverance, telling us today will be a joyful day as we enter, rejoice, and come into this space. They call us back to that place where we focus our energies once more in the presence, where we find once again safety and sufficiency in this moment. Rebalancing. They tell us even if last night was a time of hardship, a time of difficulty, that on this morning we shall have this hour of goodness, this golden hour where we know we are warm enough, where we can be calm enough, where we can be fed and caffeinated enough and feel safe in our togetherness. That feeling can help each of us, perhaps to reset after a hard week, perhaps to find balance, to remind ourselves of how it is to be in our bodies when we are upset, overturned by the winds that blow us through our lives. It may calm grief, uplift someone who is struggling with anger or helplessness, calm the floodwaters of pain. This is the stuff of spiritual joy. For it's not just having fun that brings joy, it's that contented glow that blossoms in community, in calm, in safety, that allows us to get to our creative spaces and find ourselves once more. Not our self-conscious selves or the masks we put on of professionalism, but the self that doesn't think of self, for it is too busy creating togetherness. This is the self we hope for. And it's found sometimes in church, sometimes in more unexpected places. I remember years ago, I was doing hurricane relief with a group called Islamic Relief. Islamic Relief is much like the Red Cross, but rather than crosses, there are crescents on their caps and shirts. They work together with the Red Cross for helping people, disaster assistance, for helping those in need of food or housing, for opening shelters after natural disasters. In this case, we were down in Houston after a hurricane had been through, after floodwaters had risen more than 14 or 15 feet out of the 12-foot deep ditches that help with runoff and into the neighboring homes. We were operating a shelter, and I met a woman named Lenore. Her house had been filled, almost 3.5 feet deep of mud and water. She had had to leave abruptly in the middle of the night and came to us in the morning with nothing but the clothes she had been wearing and her car keys that she'd been able to grab on the way out. But Lenore didn't sit around lamenting her fate. Lenore didn't sit around and simply go, "Woe is me, my books, my clothes, all that is lost." Instead, she gathered up a table, little card table, and some chairs from the church office and set them up in a corner next to the cots that we had placed for people to sleep on. And she asked, "Who's got a deck of cards?" She started teaching people to play spades. Because she couldn't go back home yet, she couldn't do much about what was lost, but what she could do was build community and get people talking over a deck of cards. Pretty soon, she had set up a little tea and coffee station using the hot chocolate packets and whatnot that the church had, that we had. She got some people who had cookies to put them out next to the tea and coffee and had snacks going on. Pretty soon, there was a whole group around the spades table, people who had never played before and didn't know how, trying to learn. There were several decks of cards suddenly by the second day, and people playing war or other games with the kids. And when I came back, when there was a hurricane again 3 years later, there was Lenore, not in a shelter as a resident, but she was running the shelter, one of the managers this time around, sitting at the front desk and helping people get directed to services. She told us, "You know, all that help you gave me really made me want to pay it back." I went, "I don't know what help we gave you. You organized half the shelter yourself." But these are the things from that little spark of joy, getting back to what happens when we build community, when we play cards, when we just have some fun despite everything that is hard. She brought herself to a whole new sense of what she could do for others. And I am certain that Lenore will be teaching some more people to play spades and inducting them into how to run your own shelter by the time the next hurricane rolls around. And this, too, is what we need when the smaller things in life happen or the bigger ones. That ability to find the good, to create a calm space, a joyful, generous space, a little bit of tea and some cookies in the midst of hardship. It brings us back from powerlessness to a place of readiness to use whatever skills and abilities we have for good, to know that there's enough for sharing even when we have nothing. It matters because right now, I know most of you in this room already know and don't need convincing, we're in a time of rising fascism, authoritarian government. People are taking away what folks have that are already marginalized, already in need of help. I don't think I'm being hyperbolic in saying any of that. There's a lot to fear right now in the world. And I don't begrudge anyone their moment of sackcloth and ashes. To sit down and lament what has come to pass is natural and needful and human. But we also have to find our joy. Because when we get into fear and anger, it constricts our brains, literally. We go into a smaller part of our brain inside. It's called the amygdala, and it's your lizard brain. It's that part of the brain that tells you that you have to run and fight and survive, but it doesn't let you have blood flow to those parts of your brain that are on the outside, that do logic and love and compassion and generosity and all these things that are our higher values. And so that calm, that finding a place to sit down and have a cup of tea and play some cards and get back to work, that joy of building with one another, of hearing each other's stories and finding a connection, that's what gets us back into the places where we can excel in organizing, where we can build both things like boats and things like community, where we can help, where we can make spaces that are bigger and more full of joy and let more people in to become part of a greater community, where we find that kind of spiritual joy, that contented and satisfied, full feeling of being with one another. That's where real action, community can happen, so that when forces that come for us with fear and governments that tell us to say no to inclusivity because people are scary, no to people's lives because they don't deserve it, can be rejected. We can say no, for we are not alone. We'll be like Lenore to say, sit down and calm down. Let's have some tea. Let's play some cards. Let's get through this together. And then we'll help the next people who need us. That's what joy brings us. That's why we must find it once more, for it's the strength to resist and the people who will become part of that resistance too. Like the Marge Piercy poem that builds from 1 to 2 to tens and thousands. It says, it goes on one at a time. It starts when you care to act. It starts when you do it again and they say no. It starts when you say we and know who you mean. And each day you mean one more. For mourning may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. For each day we mean one more. So share joy with one another. From simple things like our church potluck to big things like going out and being part of a movement. And each day, may we mean one more. May it be so. And now, let us sing in joy together as we close with hymn number 311, Let It Be a Dance, in your gray hymnal.
May I have this dance with you through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Let a dancing song be heard. Play the music, say the words, and fill the sky with sailing birds. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Learn to follow, learn to lead. Feel the rhythm, feel the need. To reap the harvest, plant the seed. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance we do. May we have this dance with you through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Everybody turn and spin. Let your body learn to bend. And like a willow with the wind. Let it be a dance, let it be a dance, let it be a dance. A child is born, the old must die. A time for joy, a time to cry. Take it as it passes by. Let it be a dance. May I have this dance with you through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Morning star comes out at night. Without the dark there is no light. If nothing's wrong, then nothing's right. Let it be a dance, let it be a dance, let it be a dance. Let the sunshine, let it rain. Share the laughter, bear the pain. And round we go again. Let it be a dance.
Please remain standing as we extinguish our chalice flame and speak together the words in the order of service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts
until we are together again. And so, as we close, through all the times of pain or hesitation, let it be a dance that we do, finding joy together, one with another, returning to this space, to the places where we can be calm, where we can be creative, where we can find our highest values and practice them again and again. Blessed be. Good to see you.
Things are going well for you?
Oh, yes.
I'm so happy.